I do not know exactly how much I weigh because my scale stops at 340 pounds. And when I stepped on my scale, it said overload. So I don't feel great about that. So what we're going to do here is start walking and talking. And hopefully this just gives me something to do while I attempt to shed these unwanted pounds. My son actually was the one that pointed out that I had broken the scale. And that's just not something that I thought I was going to have to confront anytime soon. But, more than the number, I just feel it. I definitely feel that extra weight. Just trying to get up, trying to walk around. Feels like I've got an elephant on my back, only that's just my back. So, long past time to get some exercise regularly, change some eating habits, change my mindset in a lot of ways. And hopefully talking through it will help one way or another. And I don't intend for this to be like a workout video or anything, but I am working out. Changes my mindset, clears my head a little bit, and lets me get some interesting thoughts going sometimes. So it's kind of a two birds with one stone thing. One of the other areas where I know that I've been really hurting is any kind of creative outlet. I used to be pretty heavily involved in theater in high school and even a little bit in college, and I don't do anything like that anymore. I used to write a lot, short stories, sort of creative ideas, blogs. Never had the balls to put them up on the internet or anything, but I would just write stuff. I don't even do that anymore. It's tough to acknowledge when culturally we tell ourselves that, love is all you need. And being a parent is the most satisfying thing in the world. And I see what people mean when they say that. I really do. Because there is a level of completeness in my life since becoming a father that I never knew was missing. And you can't really articulate to someone who doesn't have kids yet. Every time you try, people say stuff like, I don't have to have kids to be complete. And maybe they don't. Maybe that is not a missing piece of everyone's life puzzle, but it was for me. And now, apparently the puzzle's bigger than I thought. It wasn't the last piece. It wasn't the final piece that made it all click together. Or, if you follow the metaphor a little bit, maybe I knocked some of the edges off of the table while I was putting the rest of the puzzle together. Because I sure don't feel like I'm one with the universe. But right now, getting my blood flowing and simultaneously getting some much needed time to myself to think I don't have the TV on. I'm not playing a game on my phone or anything. And I feel good about that decision. You know, there's a degree of willpower that has to happen to take the first step to come out and get on the elliptical, which has been sitting in my garage for far too long, unused. But I gotta start somewhere, and I think if I can manage to make myself actually make these, and God forbid, maybe put them online. That kind of terrifies me. But maybe, just maybe, somebody else out there is having some similar struggles. And maybe seeing somebody trying to work through them might help. So here we are. Let's work this shit out. Let's see, I am 7 minutes in. That is no major accomplishment. I have had okay workout regimens before. And one of the things that always was a little beyond me was that whole, talking with a partner thing. This is the longest that I've talked while working out, I think, ever. So, try and keep it up. What else? I don't have to just talk about the concept of working out all day. I can control what I eat. That is the other huge piece of this. I'm open to all kinds of suggestions. The low carb thing is the first thing everybody brings up. And I am, for lack of a better word, a glutton for my pastas and breads and sugars. And that's probably going to make a way bigger difference than getting on the elliptical. So, I don't know if there's a version of that where there's a cutting back, because everybody that I've talked to is gotta go all meats, all high protein, no carbs, trick your body into thinking it's, the long winter and that it's got to start eating its fat. And that makes sense. I get how that's supposed to work. Wondering if there's a slightly less extreme version of it. Because I've also heard that it's not really healthy to make that kind of an extreme change. Oh, maybe I taper it off or something. Maybe I won't actually see any weight loss results until I do. But for now, my heart could use the workout and my brain could use the workout. So if the scale doesn't notice it right away, that'll have to be okay. And the diet change is still pending. So I'm sure there will be comments. I will read some of the comments if there are comments. And I've heard that that's dangerous, but maybe I'll do it once. Read the comments one time, let my soul be destroyed, shatter my very shred of self-esteem that might be left, power through it, and then never again, internet. But maybe I gotta post a couple videos first, get into that habit first. I would hate for a negative internet comment to actually make me stop doing something positive. What's with the hate, y'all? I mean, that's another nice topic if you don't want to listen to me talk about myself all day. The internet is dark. Darker than ever, I think. Everybody's so entrenched. Nobody's listening to each other. And I'm guilty. I've posted my fair share of what may have turned out to be a Russian troll's news article. And I've certainly posted my fair share of what may have turned out to be pretty nasty comments when you read them. That's the thing. I think part of the anonymity of the internet is not just on the part of the poster, but on the part of the reader. When you're reading something you don't have any way to ask somebody a question about their intention or their meaning, you're free to assume the worst. And we sometimes fall into that trap. And I know I have. And then it snowballs. I assume the worst. And I type something that may or may not be the most understanding that I can be. But then whatever I've written, next person assumes the worst. And so on and so forth. Until we're just calling each other rednecks and libtards. And neither of those is accurate description of a lot of these people. I consider myself a very moderate person. So, I'll try to end the political rant here. Didn't mean to make this a political video at all. Jeez, look at me. But, let's see. 20 minutes into workout, and I don't feel like I'm gonna die yet or anything. Probably just keep going. You may have noticed I am wearing an Incredible Hulk t-shirt. I am also a huge nerd. And by that, I don't mean that I can beat anyone I meet in a trivia challenge or anything. I'm a 340-pound nerd. At least. There's a lot of that content out there. Man, if you want to escape reality, there is no time like the present. And that's a problem for me too, honestly. I binged season 2 of Iron Fist when I probably could have been doing this. And arguably, there's time for both. But I have that pitfall of watching one and wanting to watch the next one and wanting to watch the next one, and I gotta catch up and be able to talk with everybody. But you know what? I don't talk to anybody about it. So maybe maybe I watch one and then come do a workout video and tell you all my thoughts. That is 25 minutes. I know I talked for a little bit before I worked out. So that's like, I think at least 20 minutes. And I know that's not a full-on workout or anything, but I do have to start my day. So, adios, amigos, and I hope that this does something for me or for you, and let's just keep at it. Whatever you're going through, whatever failings you might have as a person, there's an overwhelming chance that you are not the only one. That somebody is dealing with something incredibly similar. And maybe we can have each other's backs, I guess. That would be pretty cool, I think. All right. That nerd out.